I got a lot of his books.
Christianity.
Yeah, I got his books on family and just different things. Like I said, he was at these conferences. So anyway, it's a big news. So, but let's go here in First John chapter 3, verse 4. And if my deacon can read, I appreciate it.
Yep. Everyone doing sin also does lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. I'm reading scriptures unless you want me to
Okay.
switch.
Okay, go.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that he was manifested to take away our sins.
Actually, go back to, is it 3, 4? Did you start at 3?
I started at verse 4.
Okay, you're right. Okay, go. Sorry, go. Everyone, go.
Everyone doing sin also does lawlessness, and sin is lawlessness. And you know that he was manifested to take away our sins, and in him there is no sin. Everyone staying in him does not sin. Everyone sinning has neither seen him nor known him.
Okay. So if you can go to the King James version,
Yeah, I can go King James.
just because I'm so used
Yeah,
to,
I know it sounds different.
yeah.
It sounded a little weird here.
I like the King James. I think it's a little sound, so it's more concrete.
Yeah.
So what does it say right there?
Whosoever committeth sin transgresses also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law.
So there we go. So sin is the transgression of the law. Well, Christianity says that the law is done away with. So what sin did Tony Evans commit? They don't believe, they believe the law is done away with. So if there's no law, how is there sin? If sin, and this is New Testament Christians, whoever are Christians out there, this is New Testament, not that we follow all the way from Genesis to Revelations and some extras on here and there. But it says sin is the transgression of the law. I heard Smart Christian, I think the guy, he said it doesn't really matter what the sin is. Really, it doesn't really matter what the sin. Well, it does matter what the sin is. How do we not know that what he did that we should know so that we don't commit it? This is the part that is interesting about Christianity. This is the part that was frustrating being in Christianity. You see people leave the church, but you don't know why they left the church. I can tell you right now, people will tell you, people I ran into, I say, hey, what did you hear about what I did wrong? I don't know. I just heard that we're not to associate with you anymore and that you left. I mean, I said, so wouldn't it make sense if I was a deacon in that church and I'm no longer a part of that church, I've been excommunicated? Wouldn't it be nice to know what it was so that you guys don't make the same mistake that I made? Or wouldn't be why even I didn't even know. I couldn't even tell you why. I mean, the sin was Kabir is keeping the Shabbat. I mean, they didn't say that. It would have been nice so that we now know, hey, if you're a Christian and you're keeping the Shabbat, you will be excommunicated. But they don't tell you. They keep it, gray, keep it, kind of ambiguous so that you don't know what it is. So I'm going to show you in the book. So clearly right here, First John is saying sin is the transgression of the law. And so when we were looking up, I mean, Deacon, when you were trying to find this, did you find what Tony Evans did that caused him to have to step down? I mean, we hear sin. They literally use the word sin. Did you find what the sin was?
No, I didn't, and we can pull up the article here. I have the article if you want to go over it so you can see.
I know, because I'm assuming Tony Evans, I'm just assuming, guys, this is my opinion now. See, I'm going to tell you when it's word in my opinion. I mean, we don't know if he was a chilling, like TJ Clemens just said right here. We don't know if he was a pork eating, I mean, that's a sin, right? But yeah, he's still on the pulpit eating pork, he was not keeping the Shabbat. I know he was getting paid and working on Saturday. I don't think that may have stepped up. So what's the sin? What is the sin that Tony Evans committed? So I'm going to show you in the book here. So we can just go here. So we read that, right? So sin is the transgression of law. And that's in the New Testament. So now let me take you to the Old Testament so we can establish line upon line, precept on precept. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 11. And I'm going to show you guys several witnesses, and I'm going to use the New Testament to show you why it's so important. If you're going to make this public, I mean, I don't remember when King David committed a sin, adultery. We know exactly that he committed adultery. He killed Uriah, and he didn't step down from kingship. Now, there was consequences, but no one removed him from his post as king. Saul sinned. He disobeyed the Most High Yah. We know that he sinned, and he wasn't stepped down. He didn't have to step down. He eventually died, but even King David didn't even touch him, even during that time. So why does Tony Evans feel? Why do they feel the need that Tony Evans needs to step down? And what's the sin? I mean, still, we're here talking. What's the sin? But let's go back. I'm going to show you what the book says how we need to handle stuff. Are you there? Deuteronomy
Yep.
13:11. Read.
And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this among you.
Now, if you go up, let's go up before that. Let's I don't even know where to begin here. It talks about a prophet. This is about a prophet trying to turn people away from God, right? And it's telling us how to handle with a prophet who does such a wickedness like this. And it's so let's say do not agree with him. Let's start with just verse 6. Can you read that verse 6? So this is a prophet trying to sway you. He gives you he's a prophet who's actually been on point. The stuff he said before, and now he's coming back and saying that we should no longer worship mighty one, we should worship other gods. And I don't want to bore you, but just not that this is the word is boring, but just because I'm limited on time here, I'm on my lunch break here. But if you go to 13, read all of 13, okay? But we're going to start at let's start at verse 6. Read.
If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is thine own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people which are round about you, nigh unto thee, or far off from thee, from the one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth, thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thine eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely kill him.
Wow. So this is so we know exactly. So when somebody's trying to cause you, then that means all the Christian pastors should be stepping down, and more so, we should be killing them. But hey, I'm not saying that. I'm telling you what the book says. So that means I can tell you every Christian pastor I know has been turning people away from the God of the Most High Yah, of God Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So, I mean, all the pastors should be stepping down. It's worth it. Let's see. Let's see if I'm making it up. Keep reading.
Thine hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people.
So here you go. So, and this is what? Because what did they do? Because they turned you away to worship other gods. I know Christians are not worshiping the one true God. They're worshiping the sun God, right? What does it say right there? And then keep reading. What verse are you on?
Verse 10.
Okay, read.
And thou shalt stone him with stones, that he die, because he had sought to thrust thee away from the Most High thy Elohim, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage.
So it's one God. It's the God that brought us out of Egypt, Mizraim, out of the house of bondage. This is the God that we should be worshiping. But Christianity don't teach you to worship that God. They teach that the law is done away with. So that means everybody that's in a Christian church should be the first one to put stone on that pastor. Now, we live in America, so we don't live in our own land. So guess what? You can stone them by just walking out. But if they really want to call something a sin, then every Christian pastor in the United States of America needs to come off the pulpit. Tony Evans is doing it. Everybody needs to come off, because that's a sin. Because you guys are enticing. You've been enticing for thousands of years people from worshiping the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the one that rescued from Egypt, the house of bondage. Now, listen to this. Now, do you just do this? Well, let's see what the sin is. Let's read verse 12. Are you in verse 12 or 11?
I would be on 11 here.
11. Go to 11. My bad.
And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall.
So we should hear. Slow down, brother. Let all of Israel what? Hear and fear. Hear and fear. See, we hear this is a bad thing. This is an abomination to go around enticing people to worship other gods. And he says, let all of Israel hear. So we hear Tony Evans has sinned. But guess what's missing in Christianity? I don't know what to fear, because we don't know what he did wrong. We just heard that he sinned, but I can't, I don't have anything to fear, because we don't even know what he's done. He could have drank some alcohol, and the answer, well, that's not a sin. Let's make this concrete so that we know. We hear and they sin. Now I want to fear. Where's the fear here? What's the fear here? But it's hard to fear. We don't know what it is. So let's read verse 11. And let all of Israel hear and fear. Go.
And shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among you. If
Verse
thou
20.
shalt if thou shalt hear, say in one of the cities which the Most High thy Elohim hath given thee to dwell there, saying, certain men, the children of Belial, are gone out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, let us go and serve other Elohims, which ye have not known. Then shalt thou inquire and make search, and ask diligently, and behold, if it be truth, and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought among you, thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of that city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof, with the edge of the sword. And thou shalt gather all the spoil of it into the midst of the street thereof, and shalt burn with fire the city, and all the spoil thereof, every whit for the Most High thy Elohim. And it shall be in heap forever. It shall not be built again. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, keep going all the way to the end. Just go to the end.
And there shall cleave not of the cursed thing to thine hand, that the Most High may turn from the fierceness of his anger, and show thee mercy, and have compassion upon thee, and multiply thee, as he hath sworn unto thy fathers. When thou shalt hearken to the voice of the Most High, thy Elohim, to keep all his commandments, which I command thee this day, to do that which is right in the eyes of the Most High, thy Elohim.
Do what's right in his eyes. So, guys, this is how sin was handled, and we don't. And so, is this one of the things that if Tony Evans was living in this life, would he be stoned? Will we be stoning? I think we should, because he's not. I don't think he's leading people to the right, to the Most High Yah, but to the Sun God. So let's just go. I'm just going to hit some verses here. I'm going to go all the way to New. Let's go to Deuteronomy 17:13. Just go there real quick. Just read just that verse. And you guys can do your own reading. You guys got to do your own research. But I want to just show you right here. This is the type of stuff that Christianity do. They keep things vague. You don't know what's right or wrong. Good is bad and bad is good. And pastors are sinning, but we don't know what the sin is. And so somebody's about to do it again. And so, well, I didn't know that was wrong. How would I have known? If somebody would have told me, I would have probably known not to go across that path. Well, do you hear what Tony Evans did? Oh, I heard what he did. Okay. That was wrong. Right. That's some serious stuff. How do we know? Why keep it vague? What's the news like? He sinned. Okay. Well, if you're going to make it public that he sinned, and he's to the point where he has to step down. So what, after 40-something years, 46 years at the helm, and he's stepping down because of some sin, and it's not even recent. This happened 2 years ago, a couple of years ago. So it's not even a recent sin, supposedly. This is something that happened, and he was preaching the whole time, and now all of a sudden, now is somebody trying to embezzle money from him or trying to extort money from him, and is he trying to get out before it gets out to find out? Maybe he got a prostitute, maybe when his wife, I know his wife, Irene, I believe, she passed away in 2019. I'm looking here. And she died of, let me see here. So Evans was married to Lois Irene Evans until her death. The marriage produced some children. I believe she died of cancer. Let me look. Can anybody find out why? If people in the chat can find out, Lois, as I kind of keep talking here, but tell me, why did his wife pass away? They didn't say what she passed away from, but she passed away from, she got some famous children that I know, Priscilla Evans and, things of that nature, but she passed away. So maybe during that time when she was terminally ill or something, maybe, he got lonely. Maybe he wanted to be comfort. Maybe he needed the comfort of a woman, flesh, but he couldn't go to his wife who was dying. Maybe he got a little loving from another woman. Maybe it's the woman that he's with now, who's his wife. She's a widow too. Maybe he got some loving before he actually got the marriage license. I mean, is that a sin? Or maybe before he did the ceremony. So would that make it a sin? I mean, shoot, if that's the case, I guess, who was it? Abraham, Isaac. Maybe when he consummated and took his woman and took her into the tent of Sarah and laid with her, did he commit a sin? Because I don't remember him getting a state marriage license. So what is it? Okay, somebody said, we got Xavier here. He says, biliary cancer. What is that? So some type of cancer, a rare case of gallbladder cancer. So I'm assuming you can't have sex with a person who's dealing with a rare case of gallbladder cancer. And I'm not here to make any kind of fun here. That's a sad situation. You know, I think I met the woman, and so my heart goes out to the Evans family regarding that. But I'm assuming, you know, shoot. I mean, I know when I lost my wife and me, man, shoot, I'm like, dang, I'm so used to being able to have it, and now it's gone. What am I supposed to do? So am I wrong because I took on another woman and to be able to relieve myself? You know, I don't see in the book where that's a sin. Or maybe while she was terminally ill and he couldn't lay with her, so he gets another woman that he's now calling his legal wife now. Maybe he was laying with her, or maybe snacked a little bit. And they said, well, hey, you can't snack until she's dead. And because she's alive, yes, I know she's not able, but she's, you know, to death do us part. So is that the sin? Maybe that's the sin. Because shortly after he got married to this woman. Guys, these are all speculations. At least I'm telling you, these are speculations. We are left to speculate because there's no word. It's just he sinned and he stepped away. He's stepping down. Does that make sense, Deacon? I mean,
yeah, that makes
if
sense.
you guys are following me, you guys put in a 10 in the chat. Put a 10 if this is resonating with you guys. It's just maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm supposed to act like a typical Christian, like, oh, okay, that's a honorable thing that he stepped away and we don't need to know. It's none of our business, even though he's stepping down. So it's got to be our business. Like, man, if he's stepping down, this is a serious offense. Shouldn't we know what it is so we don't do the same thing? Okay, we're getting some 10s here. Okay, so people are resonating with this stuff. And if you don't resonate what I'm saying, put a 0. And help me to understand this stuff. I mean, help me to make sense of this stuff. I'm just trying to understand because I don't want to make the same mistake that Tony Evans is making. But now I don't even know. Are they going to ever let us know? Are they going to eventually let us know? I mean, are they still in investigation, even though this happened years ago? I mean, what's going on? You know, was it because he drank alcohol? Like we don't even know, you know. But let's go to Deuteronomy 17:13. Let me show you. I'm going to show you what the book says. What you say, well, Kabir, why are you so nosy? Why do you need to know? Well, I need to know. I don't want, if I was a part of that congregation, I need to know. People didn't know why I got kicked out of my church where I went to. I'm like, wouldn't it make sense to tell you guys what I did wrong so you don't commit the same thing?